Why are you so afraid of the silence? In a world that rewards the loudest voice, you've been conditioned to believe that staying quiet is a sign of weakness, or worse, a lack of influence. But while you're busy filling the air with empty words, the most powerful people in the room are using silence as a weapon. They aren't just ignoring the noise. They are transcending it. You are exhausted because you are constantly reacting. You are losing because you cannot stop speaking. Today, we strip away the delusion. We are diving into the 8 ruthless laws of the mind that elevate the genius above the masses. If you want to master your life, you must first master the void. The first law is the law of internal fortress. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote that nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Most people today are mental refugees. When social media erupts in outrage or a coworker takes a jab at your ego, you flee your center to join the chaos. A genius knows that silence is the walls of their fortress. By refusing to give a verbal reaction, you retain your energy. You become an enigma, and in that mystery, you find total control. The second law is the economy of truth. We live in an era of oversharing, where people trade their privacy for a fleeting hit of dopamine. Epictetus taught us that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. When you speak less, your words gain weight. When you are silent, you are collecting data while everyone else is leaking it. You aren't just listening to what people say. You are hearing what they are too afraid to mention. He who masters his tongue is a king in a world of slaves. The third law is the shield of indifference. Seneca warned that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Modern stress is almost entirely vocalized. We complain, we vent, and we ruminate out loud, which only serves to solidify the pain. The genius understands that silence kills the flame of conflict. If someone insults you and you meet them with a cold, unwavering silence, the insult dies with them. It has no home in your mind. The fourth law is strategic absence. In a marketplace of constant content and constant connection, presence is cheap. When you are always available, you are undervalued. By withdrawing into silence, you create a vacuum. People begin to wonder what you are thinking, what you are planning, and what you know that they don't. This is not about playing games. It is about respecting your own frequency. The fifth law is the death of the ego. Most talking is simply an attempt to prove our worth to people we don't even like. The genius has no need for external validation. They understand that the more you explain yourself, the more you dilute your power. Silence is the ultimate expression of self-assurance. You don't need to be understood by the masses. You only need to be effective. The more you seek the approval of others, the more they will own you. The sixth law is emotional transmutation. When you feel a surge of anger or the sting of betrayal, the common instinct is to shout. But words are a leak. They release the pressure that could otherwise be used for fuel. A genius takes that raw emotion, traps it in a container of silence, and converts it into focused work. They don't scream at the world. They build something that makes the world scream their name. The seventh law is the observation of the machine. Look around you. Everyone is trapped in a loop of stimulus and response. They see a notification. They click. They hear an opinion. They argue. By practicing silence, you step outside the machine. You become the programmer rather than the program. You see the patterns, the insecurities, and the predictable moves of your competition because you are the only one not distracted by your own voice. The eighth law is the finality of action. Stoics believe that philosophy is a practice, not a debate. The world is full of people who talk about what they're going to do. They announce their goals, their diets, and their business plans. The genius does the opposite. They remain silent until the work is finished. They let the result be the only sound they make. Silence is the sleep that nourishes wisdom. The masses will always be loud, and they will always be broke, tired, and controlled. But you are no longer part of the masses. You have learned that your greatest asset isn't your ability to speak, but your discipline to remain still. You are building a mind that is ruthless, a spirit that is unshakable, and a life that commands respect without saying a single word. If you've listened this far, you are already beginning to see the truth. The noise is a trap. The void is your throne. And the only question left to ask yourself is, why are you so afraid of the silence?